everyone. I'm Karen. Welcome to my channel. This is Empower for Life, falling under the full broader scope of all things essential. So, Empower for Life focuses on the things that we can do for better quality of life in terms of meditation, exercises, health and awareness, more spiritual exercises and things to bring us more balance when it comes to empowering ourselves so that we can live a better life. So before we get too far, I just want to ask if you find this beneficial and if it makes a difference in any way, please like or subscribe. That way, I know, others know, and you can also leave your comments, okay? So, the topic today is, what is meditation? I remember years ago when I was beginning my awakening and just wanted to be more aware, more balanced, and everybody that I would speak to would say, "Oh, do you meditate? Oh, meditation is great. Are you meditating?" And I would be like, "Meditating, okay." I hear the words, not quite sure. I try, I don't know how. So I would go to those different gyrations, and I finally decided, I said, well, let me look at it. Let me see what it is. And so I went to the library, actually, and I went to a bookstore and just was looking at meditation, how to do it. And one of the first things I realized is I was overthinking it. And the whole thing about meditation, it's about not thinking so much. And so here I am doing the thing that you're not to do when you're trying to meditate. But again, that's what makes the story a better story, because that's what I was doing, and that's what I've learned to overcome. So I think the thing that I'd like to share more than anything is that everybody has their own way of approaching it. It's still a personal journey, even though there's some steps or some basic I would say guidelines, if that's it, or there's a shape around it, so it's kind of loose, and then you just kind of find your way in the middle of all of that to figure out what works best. And one of the first things that I tried was a guided meditation, because I listened to what the individual was saying, and I kind of went on that journey, and the focus of that is what helped me understand that it's really about relaxing and then moving forward. And even now, with the years of meditation, I still do enjoy a guided meditation every now and then, or as often as I can, because in group settings, when you come together with like-minded people, if they do a meditation, and it's pretty beneficial and exciting. All right, so I got my notes over here. I'm looking. All right, so meditation is an ancient tradition that has been practiced all over the world since ancient times, especially during periods where they didn't have as many things to distract them. It was easy to pass the time and kind of ground with a practice of meditation, and it also encouraged just being open and more connected. A lot of the great philosophers, engineers of the beginning of time spent a lot of time meditating. We don't talk about that, but they did. They took naps and they meditated, right? So, all right. So there's a lot of benefits of meditation. It helps focus. It helps quieting of the mind. It helps us master that we are to tell our mind, body, personality what to do, as opposed to the mind telling us what to do, especially since our mind has been programmed by various external factors since birth. So the idea is to take control over your life is to master control over your mind. What you think is what comes forward into your existence. I was just talking to one of my clients the other day. We were talking in COVID how everything is going on, and we were talking about what direction you go in, how do you move to get what you want. And it's what I said is, so when you're thinking about it, are you thinking I want a job, or are you saying I want to grow my business? And they were like, what? Well, what's the difference? I said, well, the difference is a job means you're working for someone. Growing your business means you're growing your business. So the universe doesn't really know what to do with that. Do they send you job opportunities so that you can be an employee? Or do they send you opportunities to expand your business base? So our mind determines that, right? So we need to get in tune with that and control which way it goes, what the direction is, so the universe can bring us what we truly want. And there's so many things we do like that. The message is conflicting. So then you wonder why there's a start and stop, or you don't get the things you want in life, or it's not, it doesn't work for you because your message isn't clear. Your mind isn't focused. You're not controlling. You're not quieting the mind and letting your spirit take control and determine your next steps. Okay, so there's a couple types of meditation. 6 popular types, they say. So mindful meditation is the one we would think about when we think about like the Buddhist religion and tradition, even though all of us can do that at any time. It's the most popular. My little tablet keeps falling, the wind is blowing. It allows when basically you sit in a quiet space, you focus, center, get your breathing together, and focus on that rhythmic motion of breathing. And then you allow yourself to quiet the mind, meaning just thinking on the breathing makes the mind quiet typically, but thoughts will come. So mindful meditation is just watching the thoughts go by, paying attention to which series of thoughts come by. But you have the thought, let it go. Have another thought, let it go. After the meditation, you think about the things you were thinking about. Typically when a thought comes, we want to drill it down. If it's a problem, then we want to try to solve it. What avenues, where can we go, This is not the time. This is just being mindful, being present, let the thought go by, pay attention afterwards. The next is spiritual meditation. And this is usually associated with religious organizations, or institutions, I should say. And typically when we see spiritual meditations, we see, like in the Catholic Church or Orthodox churches, you'll see the priest and they're swinging the thing with the smoke coming, the incense burner, the urn. And typically they use frankincense, myrrh, sage, cedar, sandalwood, or palo santo. And it's just associated with that. And it's really more contemplating, from a spiritual or religious, based on the organization or the institution, what are the deeper meanings of life? So you ponder a verse, a Bible verse or scripture of some sort, and going deeper into what is the meaning of life, and you use that as as a method to be able to do that. Now, for me, I will say to you that I use frankincense, myrrh, sage at the beginning of every meditation, because it does set the tone. It helps me center and ground. It helps prepare my space. I do it in the morning. I do it in the evening. It's just a part of what I do. Okay, now when I want to be clear too, when I say a part of what I do, with anything, like if you run track, you stretch before you run, or walking or exercising. If you're a baseball player, you practice the batting. There's a ritual that you do to prepare yourself. Same thing with meditation. There's a thing that you do to prepare your body for what's about to happen. So for me, what I do, like I said, is I have this burner. Hopefully you can see that. Has this little piece. And I put my charcoal on, burn the charcoal. And you those of you who are pros, okay, fine. I'm not trying to insult. I'm just trying to share for those that make sense, who need some information. I also buy the bunches of white sage. I take a piece and I burn it. I use one every time I burn my incense, because it clears the space. And then once that gets going, then I put a piece, one of the resins of frankincense, and then 1 of myrrh. And I usually break the charcoal in half because that's enough for what the clearing that I might want to do in terms of preparation. The other thing is sometimes people don't want to deal with that, so then you could also, just get, one of these, any kind of incense burner. And this particular one it's a meditation aroma. I love the Nang Champa. There's so many relaxation, whatever incense that you choose. Again, it's about preparing your body, preparing your space. And I just like to make sure that I do that. Okay, so it also, when you talk about the spiritual meditation, when people think of Native Americans and things like that, and the peace pipe and all, there was a ritual that they did. So there was a clearing with something like this before they began passing the peace pipe to make sure that they could go to the highest levels in realms to get the information, because we're talking about how they were going to defend their peoples, or any major discussion that they need to address for their nation. All right, next, focused meditation. This is where you are using one of your 5 senses. Okay. This can be listening to a meditation that includes a gong or a chime, and you're focused and you're listening, and it comes every so often, and you're tuning in, allowing that sense to grow and develop and expand. And you'll find when you do that, I love those as well, because then you're listening, you're learning, you're hearing all the other things that you wouldn't normally hear. It's just tuning you in. Or you might be focused on a candle, and your eyes are really focused on the flame. And that's an interesting one, because then you're working not to blink and to stay focused, to stay concentrated, and see what kind of information comes. This is really good with for people that have attention deficit, whether we want to call it that or not. But if you have difficulty focusing just in life generally, a focused meditation is really good. And you can search, Google those, or search it however you want to do on the internet to find that out, or get books. It's a little bit harder than it sounds, but particularly the flame one, but it's very good, very beneficial, because again, you're mastering the idea that you control your body. It doesn't control you. You are the master of this vehicle, right? All right, the next is a moving meditation. And when people think of the moving meditations, they're usually referring to yoga, tai chi, or qigong. But walking, gardening, for me, cleaning and actually cooking are great meditations, moving meditations. And what's awesome about a moving meditation is that you allow yourself to freely think and explore. There's no limitations. It's not, I don't want to think about this, or I don't want to focus on that. You let yourself go. And that movement of whatever you're doing allows a flow of ideas. It allows creativity or problem solving. It's just a beautiful thing. So most of us are engaged in meditation when we're moving, when we're exercising, riding our bikes, or going to the gym, or walking the dog. Anyway, you're already doing it, but it's just being a conscious participant. I think that makes the difference, right? And knowing that this is good. I'm going to go with the rhythm. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see what thoughts come to me while I'm doing this thing. I come up with some great recipes, and some of them for food, but also for the products that I'll be launching soon. The next is a mantra meditation, and the most commonly known is like Om, and there are other mantras. So it could even just be a repetition of I am love, I am light. If you do the light surrounds me, the light runs through me, I am the light. The light surrounds me, the light runs through me, I am the light. Just those mantras in that rhythmic sense. And then you can do it internally, speaking it inside, or quietly to yourself, or out loud. Have music or not, just whatever makes you comfortable, but it's just about that rhythm of embodying that which you are speaking. And so obviously mantras are meant to be uplifting and forward thinking and encouraging, grounding. So that's the purpose of that. The last one is transcendental meditation, and this is new. When I was doing the research to be able to talk to you about meditation, I was unaware of transcendental meditation. However, it apparently is a whole science, and individuals who go through the process of transcendental meditation actually have a teacher assigned to them as they are going forward to be masters of meditation of sorts for whatever it is they're doing. But they get mantras based on their personality and things that they're going through. So that's when you're dedicating your whole way of life to this meditation space. Then you go through the transcendental meditation. That's not to say that what we are doing when we're beginning our meditation and moving through and doing the things for ourselves in our lives is a lifestyle, but the transcendental meditation it's a whole other thing. So it's a school, you go on a mountain or wherever you go and have that whole experience. Again, something I didn't know about. It was exciting to find out about it. I'm not sure if that's for me on my journey at this time, but it was cool to kind of learn about it. So, all right. When we talk about meditation, there is guided, as I mentioned earlier, where someone talks through, and some of you have had an opportunity to listen to the new moon meditation that I did, which was guided, where I am suggesting to you certain things to do to help you have a better experience as you release or relax or open up, just whatever it is to calm you. It could be for gratitude, could be for anything. So it's where someone is walking you through it. The other is just when you do it by yourself. So you can sit quietly, just right now, take some deep breaths in the sun and just breathe, and there's nobody talking to you about how to do it. You can have music, you cannot, just whatever it takes for you to move into your space. What I would say is to get the most benefit from meditation, you want to at least try to do 5 minutes. 5 minutes each time you sit, because it takes the first minute and a half really to 2 minutes, actually, a minute to 2 minutes to kind of quiet and relax with deep breaths. So then the last 3 minutes could be about going to the next level. So the goal is to try to do at least 5 minutes. If you can, optimally do 15 minutes, and you can go as far as an hour or whatever it is you feel you need to do. But 5 minutes, you're worth 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can do it. Again, I'd like to say that it's very, very important to say a prayer, to prepare the space and say a prayer. And typically what I do is I ask to bind and seal all the doorways, pathways to any darkness or negative energy. I ask that I be free and clear, that I'm asking for the angels or the guardians, whatever it is you're praying to come and clear you from any negativity. And again, binding the doorways to negativity so that you're in a safe space. This is really about being comfortable and understanding that when you really get into the rhythm of meditation, you kind of come out of your body. And so you want to make sure protection's around your body and in your space. I also raise my vibrations to the highest level of consciousness, to the cosmic consciousness. So you can say Christ consciousness. Again, it's a personal journey in that space. But again, I'm moving to the light, and I want to go to the highest light possible when I'm doing this. And while I'm doing it, of course, I'm taking my deep breaths. Again, my little tablet fell. Sorry about that. And then I invite in my guides, or my ancestors from the light, those that have been assigned to help me. And I'm a firm believer. Those have crossed over, that they lend their help and hand to us too. But again, I'm calling those of the light, because not everybody is, depending on their circumstance. So I want to be sure of that, right? That the whisper I'm getting is from a good angel, right? Not a bad devil, if you will. So the other thing is I also start with saying the Lord's Prayer. I say it 3 times. And again, it's about conditioning my body to understand what we're about to do. So everybody has their own journey. their own thing, but that's just something that I do. Some people say psalms and, recite some psalms or some other things. Lord is my shepherd, however that is, whatever it is you want to say. But the point is, it's about preparing so that when you do that, you just go right in, right up, and are able to really connect. I would say that is it. I hope I didn't make it too complicated. My goal was just to help people understand what meditation is, why it's beneficial. Again, it helps control the mind. It helps you balance your emotional state. It helps you develop better coping skills. It is a good way to get ideas and be in a creative space for any and every aspect of your life. It's great for healing and releasing, tuning into your body to see what's going on with it. It's just an awesome thing. So I hope it was helpful. Please leave comments. And again, like, subscribe, please. My only thing about comments is truth without love is cruelty. So you can speak your truth without being mean, because then you're being cruel. So I'm the type of person, you can tell me anything you need to tell me. Just do it with love. Just respect me in that space, and understanding that many might be reading the comments. And so, speak your truth, but again, with love. I thank you for your time. Please, again, like and subscribe. Visit the webpage, www.karenabryantllc.com. That takes you to all things essential and the other things that I'd like to share with you. Hopefully you will find those of interest. Thank you. Namaste.